Hi, I'm Aaron Borrill, motoring editor of GQ magazine. The Golf GTI, although considered by Volkswagen aficionados as the king of hatchbacks, has long been criticized for its seemingly soft performance and staid appearance. On paper, its performance has never been quite like its adversaries, but this latest iteration, the Golf R, seems to set the record straight. What Volkswagen have decided to do with this model is employ the 2-litre turbo engine, the EA113 series, from the previous GTI. It's also the same engine as the Audi S3. Surprisingly, I would have thought that Volkswagen would have used the latest generation TSI engine using valve lift technology, but they haven't. What we get though is an engine that produces 188 kilowatts and 350 Newton meters. Visually, Volkswagen has done a little to separate the Golf R from the GTI. You'll see that the red pinstriping from the GTI is missing. And what they've done is that they've added these little gloss black inserts, bi-xenon headlights, and this beautiful LED strips, just to create its own identity. We've also got the R-line badging right around the car, and that's also letting it have its own presence on the road. Another refreshing styling change are the wheels. Unlike the GTI that employs the 18-inch Detroit alloy, Volkswagen has styled the R with a 19-inch Talladega wheel. And we've also got, if you look at it closely, gloss black calipers with R-line insignia, and the discs measuring 345mm at the front and 310mm in the back. It allows for great stopping and lets the Golf R stop on a dime. You'll also notice that Volkswagen has worked a lot on the stance. If you compare this to the GTI, it's 15mm lower, meaning that your hand is going to be significantly improved. The Golf R employs the same double barrel exhaust configuration as the R32. It's been tucked nicely into the rear diffuser, that's also painted in gloss black. We've also got the R badging as well. Overall, the Golf R looks great and it holds itself as its own model in the range. I want to take this in for a drive now. Let's get in the car. The cabin arrangement and layout is very similar to the Golf GTI. There's not much separating it from the GTI. We've got gloss inserts on the steering wheel and on the dash face here. And the biggest difference is we've got blue needles as opposed to the red needles, just making it a little bit more sportier and a little detail to the cabin. We've also got a touchscreen interface, MP3 radio, change the radio stations at the touch of a finger. The sports seat's also very comfortable. You can get the racing bucket seat, but that's an optional extra. The car uses a 2-litre turbo engine, making 188 kilowatts and 350 Newton meters. Now that's a lot of power. So what Volkswagen has used is a 4th generation Haldex coupling system, which uses multiple clutches to distribute torque between the front and rear axles. Now that's great for handling, and that's great for putting a car through a corner as well. You can exit a corner a lot quicker than, let's say, in a front wheel drive car or a rear wheel drive car. Performance-wise, the DSG version can get to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.5 seconds. And it can also go on to reach a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. And if you ask me, in any terms, that's fast, especially for a hot hatch. The DSG version is absolutely wonderful, especially if you're driving in traffic on your daily commute. The DSG is also very fast, very seamless. And if you put it in sport mode, all hell breaks loose. Fuel consumption though isn't that bad either. You can get about 8.5 liters per 100 kilometers returning. And the emission discharge figure of 199 grams per kilometer shows that the car is also pretty green. A DSG box has its perks, and one of those is the launch control function. It's pretty simple to do, and I'm going to demonstrate it to you. What you do is you switch off the ESP and wait for the LCD to show you that it's off. You put your left foot on the brake, you take the DSG lever, put it into sport, and you floor the accelerator. You'll notice that the revs hold just above 3,000 RPM, and that's great, but I find that the perfect launch is at about 2,500 RPM. So I just drop down my throttle input, I keep it there, and I drop the clutch. What's great about the ESP as well is that if you switch it off, you can have a lot of fun with the car. the four-wheel drive system can, a lot of the time, send 100% of the power to the rear wheels. And when you switch off the ESP, you can get the car to oversteer quite a lot. And that's a lot of fun going sideways. But as soon as the electronic nanny detects a little bit too much hooliganism, it brings you back to safety again. And that's a great feature. So how much is this going to set you back? Well, at 423,430 Rand, it's quite expensive and quite a lot more than the Golf GTI. But what you're getting is uncompromised performance and exclusivity. Is it worth it? I'll let you decide.